10 shocking, dare I say shocking, findings from a recent survey that was conducted earlier this year. I'm getting this from an article on Business Wire. So they surveyed boomers all the way through down to Gen Z. And these surveys were from people that have not retired yet. You too? Yeah, my Ravens. This one hasn't retired yet. Are you shocked? Are you shocked by these stats? He's so shocked he can't craw. Is that it? Craw anymore. So guys, here we go. 10 stats from this survey that are very eye-opening, if you ask me. Would you ask me? If I asked me, my eyes would be opened. Here we go. Number 1. 71% of people expect to retire by 65. Okay, that's not very shocking, right? Why did I lead with that one? Because it just shows you most of these people in the survey, it gives you kind of a point of reference. Okay, they're all expecting to retire by 65. So most of these will not be working past that age. Okay, so it gives us a point of reference for the rest of these. Number 2, this is where it gets good. 64% anticipate not having enough money in retirement to do the things they want to do. 64%. So what is causing all this negative thinking? State of the economy? Stock market? Actually, looking at both of those recently, hasn't been too bad, right? Hasn't been great, but it definitely hasn't been bad. What's causing all this? What's causing all this negativity from popping up? You tell me. Leave me comments. What do you think, guys? Number 3, 42% think Social Security will no longer exist when they retire. 42%. That's even more negative, right? Now, if you ask me, are you asking me? I hope you are. If you ask me, Social Security is going to be there. Will it be there in the state it is now? Hey, we might, it wouldn't surprise me if we, 5 years from now, we are at 75% of our projected Social Security take home as of now. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But 42% think Social Security will no longer exist when they retire. I wouldn't go that far. So yeah, as you can see, definitely a negative survey here, right? And this was just all conducted recently. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a channel for retiring on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. 32% think they won't have access to health care. In a way, that's even more negative than the one before about Social Security. Won't have access to health care, 32%. Sure, there may be changes in Medicare, right, coming down the road. We don't know. I mean, all these things, guys, 10 years from now, who knows where we're going to be, right? There may be changes down the road, but to not have access to health care? Now, could these people be thinking about moving out to a very rural area? Okay, that would make more sense, right? Okay, you're not, and that's one of the biggest things, guys. When you are retired, make sure you are within close proximity to, say, an emergency room and urgent care. Even up here where I live, urgent care is right down the hill. Emergency services are about 10 miles away. Okay, so it's not ideal, but it's not like I'm 50 miles away or an hour away from healthcare if I need it if something bad goes wrong. Okay, so they think they won't have access to healthcare. Okay, I guess. Is that because of the rising costs of healthcare? Because of, for instance, ACA is going to be totally changed by 2026? Maybe that's what they're thinking. For a lot of these things, I wish they went into more detail, but unfortunately they didn't. Okay, this next one makes sense. All right, we talk about this a lot on this channel here. 27% are concerned they will have a lack of purpose in retirement. Yes. I actually thought that might be higher. Unless you are planning on retiring, let's say in your early 70s, okay, maybe you are just so tired of working for, let's say, 50 years full time that you just want to rest. But I'll bet you even for those people, you get a year into retirement, maybe even 6 months, they'll be like, okay, what do I do now? I feel like I'm just drifting here. Yeah, most people need purpose, right? That's why I've always said, like, at least 5 years before you retire, make sure you know what you're going to do. Or if you don't, in those last 5 years, you can figure out what you're going to do. Because the worst thing, guys, is to sit around and do nothing all day long, right? You do need a sense of purpose. I think most humans need a sense of purpose. These people understand it. 27% concerned about it. The next one, 40% believe that people won't be able to retire at all. 40%. Again, I think that's extreme. I don't think Social Security is, yes, it may be changed, but I think it will still be there. Yeah. In some form, right? Now, Social Security was never meant to take care of all your expenses in retirement. It was meant to supplement it, right? But for 40% to believe people won't be able to retire at all, that's extreme. I think that's too extreme. Now, if that was like maybe 15% said that, okay. But guys, this is just evidence for those of my younger viewers. Start saving. And if you already are saving, bump it up. Bump up your contribution percentage now. Okay, so you don't have to be with this doom and gloom statistics here. The next one, 80% said they would consider working part-time. That is huge. Dare I say huge? Yes, I dare, so I will. 80% said they would consider working part-time. Okay, especially for those of us of moderate income. And yes, I say it over and over again, but you know what? The important points I like to hammer home, okay? If you want to have more peace of mind, get yourself a part-time gig, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. It'll help for those of us on moderate income. If you have $5 million in the bank, yeah, okay. You don't have to bring in more money, right? But what if you want to? What if your hobby means that you can generate a little more money? Why not? Okay. These younger people say, yeah, they might be working part-time in retirement. I think it is a great thing and a great mindset. The next one, only 25% picture themselves traveling the world in retirement. Okay, I could see that. Because if you're talking about traveling the world, yeah, that could take a lot of money, right? Now, if you're talking about 1 or 2 big trips to Europe or maybe to Japan or something, maybe not. But traveling the world, yeah, that could take a lot of money. So 25% only picture themselves doing that in retirement. And a lot of people like me, I'm not a big traveler. Leave me some comments, guys. Are you big travelers or not? Let me know. I'm not a big traveler. My girlfriend is, although she hasn't been doing it much lately. So some people just aren't into the whole, world traveling or going on a world cruise. I get it. It's not for everyone. The next one, only 15% said they will not work at all in retirement. 15%. This goes along with the 80% that said they would consider working part-time. Yeah, that's where it's trending, guys. That's where it's trending. So for those of you who are retired and are worried about what people, their friends, their family might say if they took on something part-time, who cares? As I've always said on this channel, it's your retirement. You do what you want. You do whatever you want, whenever you want. Hey, if you want to work part-time, do it. And the last one I have for you, 25% would prefer to work full-time after the age of 60. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Maybe not so shocking on that one, but it kind of makes sense. Prefer to work full-time after age 60. Okay, normal retirement, 62, 63, maybe even 65, right? But if the best way to keep your mind sharp is probably working as long as you want to. Now, if you're in a job you hate, forget about it. If you're in a job you love, though, I always say if you're in a job you love, don't ever retire. I had that job for 20 years in the music industry. If I still had that job before planning on retiring, I wouldn't have retired. I loved it. So to work past the age of 60, good for you. If you love your job, don't ever retire. If you don't love your job, though, if you hopefully don't hate your job, but if it's close to that, start preparing now, guys. Again, bump up that savings rate. Bump it up, double it. Yes, there might be a part-time hurt on that, let's say for, 6 months, a year, till you adjust to it. But if you don't like your job, retire as soon as you can. Retire early even, you know? If you hate your job, I hope you plan to retire early. But if you love your job, don't ever retire. If you're forced out, that's one thing. But even if you're one of those people who love their jobs, still plan for retirement. Okay, that doesn't mean don't plan for retirement. Still plan for it, because you might be, like I just said, unexpectedly bumped out of the workforce, either by layoffs or by a health condition. So there you go, guys. There are, okay, maybe not 10 shocking stats, but the majority are, as far as I'm concerned. And as always, from the lovely high desert, we got this.